Before you ask life to show you proof, realize this. Everything you are waiting to see on the outside has already been decided within you. The moment you alter that internal decision, your entire physical reality has no choice but to follow. Welcome to Neville's Voice, where we explore how your inner assumptions, thoughts, and state of being entirely shape the reality you experience, and how aligning within can quietly transform your outer world. Before this day fully unfolds and the outside world starts pulling your attention in every direction, take a moment to slow down. What you are experiencing right now isn't just another routine morning. It is a transition point. It is a quiet shift between the version of you that existed up until this moment and the new version of you that is beginning to emerge. You didn't come across this message by accident. Something within your awareness is being directed with absolute precision, guiding you inward. Real change never begins in the external world. It always starts in the unseen space of a decision made silently and internally before anything else has the chance to respond. As you absorb these words, let go of strain. You are not here to force outcomes, solve everything at once, or chase what you want. You are here to step into a completely different inner position, to allow the feeling that what you desire is not far away, but already unfolding within reach. This moment is completely open and receptive. Something new is already moving toward you, even if you cannot see it just yet. Each morning carries this same hidden doorway. Before responsibilities, expectations, and external circumstances take over, you naturally enter a specific state of being. Most people don't notice this process happening. They wake up and instantly carry the weight of yesterday into today, letting old emotions, familiar worries, and unresolved thoughts quietly shape how their new day begins. But life doesn't actually operate from the outside in. It begins from the inside out. The first inner state you settle into becomes the foundation that everything else aligns with. If you begin your day expecting stress or difficulty, your awareness filters every event through that lens. If you begin with calm, openness, and trust that things are working out, your experience naturally follows that direction instead. This morning threshold is more than just time passing. It is a profound reset point. What you mentally and emotionally step into at the start quietly influences everything that follows. An assumption is not just a passing thought or a hopeful idea. It is a deeper inner stance, an unspoken agreement with yourself about how reality operates for you. Once you accept this stance, your mind begins organizing your attention around it. You start noticing evidence that confirms it, interpreting situations through it, and unconsciously reinforcing it through your perception. That is why two people can live through the exact same day and walk away with completely different experiences. They are simply not operating from the same inner foundation. When you deliberately choose the state you begin your morning in, you stop being a passive responder to life. Instead, you become the one shaping your experience from within. You set the tone in advance for how situations will feel and unfold. This doesn't require strain or overthinking. In fact, the more natural and steady it is, the more powerful it becomes. Reality responds far more clearly to inner certainty than to inner effort. Think about how different your day becomes when you wake up with the quiet sense that things are going to work out. There is less inner friction, interactions feel smoother, and solutions appear without forcing them. Even challenges don't hit with the same emotional intensity because you aren't approaching them from a place of anxiety or doubt. The mind may try to pull you back into old patterns, reminding you of past problems or unfinished situations, but that is not what this moment is about. This is not about reviewing history. It is about selecting your current state of being. The past only continues to shape your experience if you continue to carry it forward internally. The moment you shift, its influence begins to fade. A strong morning direction is not focused on specific events. It is rooted deeply in your identity. Instead of thinking, "I hope today goes well," there is a deeper shift into the realization that my days tend to unfold well for me. That subtle change reshapes how you experience everything. Life doesn't respond to wishes as much as it responds to the identity you consistently express. As you move through your day from that inner position, you will begin noticing small confirmations, moments of ease, unexpected clarity, and things resolving themselves more smoothly than expected. These aren't random occurrences. They are reflections of the state you started from. Even if nothing external seems dramatically different at first, staying consistent matters. The internal direction always moves ahead of visible results. What you establish within begins organizing itself outwardly over time, often in ways you wouldn't have predicted. When you understand this, mornings stop being automatic and become intentional. You are no longer just stepping into a day. You are shaping how the day forms around your awareness. That is why it becomes vital to choose your inner direction carefully, calmly, and with confidence. Because what you settle into internally becomes the tone of your entire experience. Many people go through life believing they need to chase better circumstances, waiting, hoping, visualizing, or trying to force change. But life doesn't truly respond to desire alone. It responds to what you consistently embody. Your external world is not something you pull toward yourself. It is something that reflects your ongoing inner state. This is also why effort by itself often feels limited. You can work harder, repeat positive ideas, or try to think differently for short periods. But if your deeper inner position hasn't shifted, the results won't fully hold. Life doesn't react to surface-level intention. It reflects deeper assumption. When you realize this, responsibility doesn't feel like pressure anymore. It becomes clarity. You are no longer trying to fight or convince the outside world. You simply adjust what is happening within you, and your experience begins to reorganize itself naturally. If your life currently feels heavy, delayed, or full of resistance, it isn't because something is operating against you. It is because your internal state is being faithfully expressed back to you. Nothing is malfunctioning. Life is simply responding accurately to the signal you are giving it. This understanding removes frustration, because you see there was never anything to fix in the external world first. The reflection only changes when the source changes. Trying to control external circumstances often leads to exhaustion because it is like focusing on the reflection instead of the origin. Real change happens internally first. Once your inner state shifts, your behavior naturally aligns with it. Confidence produces confident action, and clarity produces decisive action. Action becomes an expression of your being, not a replacement for it. From this awareness, you begin to live more consciously. You become more selective with your thoughts, emotions, and inner dialogue, not through force, but through understanding how quickly they shape your experience. You are not here to wait for life to improve someday. You are here to embody the version of you where things are already moving in the direction of fulfillment, and let your outer experience follow from there. One of the quietest ways the mind keeps you limited is by convincing you that certainty must come after proof. You are trained to wait for visible confirmation before you allow yourself to fully relax into knowing. Yet life doesn't follow that sequence. The order is always reversed. First comes the inner decision, and only afterward does the outer world reflect it. A real decision is not loud or dramatic. It is subtle. It happens when you internally stop debating possibilities and simply settle into a conclusion. The moment you no longer ask, "Will this happen?" and instead feel, "This is already decided," everything in your entire inner system shifts. Your thoughts begin organizing differently. Your emotional reactions soften, and your expectations quietly realign without force. From that point on, you start moving differently through life, not as someone hoping, but as someone already oriented around a known outcome. Staying in a state of waiting for proof keeps you tied to uncertainty. It sends a constant internal signal that the matter is still unresolved. Life, being precise rather than emotional, reflects that exact signal back to you by delaying the experience. This is not a punishment. It is pure accuracy. It simply mirrors the position you are holding. When you truly decide first, something noticeable happens inside. The urge to constantly check, analyze, or seek reassurance begins to fade. You stop scanning reality for confirmation. Instead, you carry a quiet inner certainty that doesn't rely on external validation. This state feels grounded, stable, and unbothered. The mind may resist this, insisting that certainty should come from facts, or that you should be realistic and wait until you are sure. But certainty has never come from what you see first. What you see is always the result of what was already assumed. To experience something new, you must be willing to stand mentally where it hasn't yet appeared. When you operate from that inner position, everything becomes more natural. Your choices feel clearer, your presence becomes calmer, and you stop pushing outcomes, moving in alignment with them instead. Life begins to reflect the quiet confidence you have already accepted internally. Each day begins as a blank space, shaped first by your inner state. Before anything external takes over, you are already forming the tone of your experience. Most people unconsciously carry yesterday forward. Old worries, old expectations, old emotional residue, and then wonder why today feels similar. But the outer world doesn't initiate your day. Your inner state does. Whatever you settle into emotionally and mentally becomes the filter through which everything else is experienced. An assumption is not a wish or a temporary thought. It is an inner position you repeatedly return to, a quiet declaration of, "This is how things are for me." Once this is established, your attention begins selecting evidence that matches it. Your interpretations shift, your reactions adjust, and even neutral events start to feel like support for that inner stance. This is why two people can live the same situation and walk away with completely different realities. They are not standing in the same inner place. When you consciously choose your internal position in the morning, you stop being purely reactive. You begin to participate in how your experience is shaped by setting the emotional and mental tone in advance. The calmer and more natural that tone is, the stronger its influence becomes. Force is not required. Stability is what matters. Think about how differently a day unfolds when you wake with the quiet sense that things will work themselves out. There is less resistance and less internal tension. Even challenges feel lighter because they are no longer interpreted through anxiety. The mind may still try to pull you back into old narratives, unfinished problems, past setbacks, or imagined difficulties. But none of that defines the present moment unless you continue feeding it. The past only stays active through continued identification. The moment you shift your internal stance, its influence weakens. Powerful assumption is not event-based, it is identity-based. It is not, "I hope something goes right today," but something closer to, "Things tend to work out for me." That subtle shift changes how reality is perceived and experienced. Because life responds more to identity than intention. When you consistently embody a certain inner identity, your outer experiences begin organizing around it. Small confirmations start appearing, smoother interactions, unexpected clarity, and subtle improvements in timing. None of these are accidents, they are reflections of the state you began from. Even if the external world doesn't immediately transform, consistency matters. Inner alignment always moves ahead of visible results. What you sustain within eventually structures what you see without. When this becomes clear, morns stop feeling routine and become intentional entry points into experience. You realize you are not entering a pre-made day. You are shaping how that day forms around your awareness. That awareness naturally leads you to choose your inner state more consciously and calmly. Many people try to change life by chasing outcomes externally, through effort, strategy, or constant adjustment. But life doesn't respond directly to desire. It responds to what you consistently embody internally. Your world is not something you pull toward you. It is something that reflects you. This is why effort alone often feels incomplete. You can act, plan, and push, but if the deeper inner position remains unchanged, the results don't fully stabilize. Surface intention is not enough. Deeper assumption is what shapes experience. When you understand this, responsibility stops feeling heavy and starts feeling empowering. You are no longer fighting external conditions. You are simply shifting the inner source, and the outer reflection adjusts accordingly. If life currently feels delayed or resistant, it is not opposing you. It is accurately mirroring your internal state. Nothing is broken. The system is working exactly as designed. This realization dissolves frustration because it removes the idea of randomness or injustice. The reflection cannot change until the source does. Trying to fix external circumstances often leads to exhaustion because it is like trying to change a mirror without touching what stands in front of it. Real change always begins inwardly. Once your inner position shifts, your behavior naturally follows. Confidence produces confident action, and clarity produces decisive action. Action becomes an expression, not a replacement. From here, you begin to become more aware of your inner world. Thoughts, moods, and assumptions are no longer unconscious background noise. They become something you can gently guide, not through force, but through understanding their influence. You are not here to wait for life to become better someday. You are here to inhabit the version of yourself where life is already moving in the direction of wholeness, and allow everything else to follow from that place. When you begin your day from that inner position, the entire structure of experience starts to shift with you. This topic is centered around a simple but deeply influential idea. Your inner world is the starting point of your outer experience. What you consistently assume, believe, and emotionally accept tends to shape how you perceive and respond to life, which then influences the results you notice over time. At its core, it focuses on the relationship between thought, identity, and experience. Instead of seeing life as something that randomly happens to you, this perspective encourages you to observe how your internal state, your expectations, your self-talk, and your dominant feelings creates a filter through which everything is interpreted. Two people can go through the exact same situation, but experience it completely differently, simply because they are operating from different inner assumptions. A key idea here is the concept of decision before evidence. Many people wait for external proof before they allow themselves to feel certain or confident. This approach often keeps them stuck in doubt and repetition of old patterns. In contrast, when someone mentally and emotionally commits to a new assumption, such as things working out, being supported, or becoming the kind of person who succeeds, they begin to act, react, and notice life differently. Over time, this shift in identity influences behavior, perception, and outcomes. Another important element is persistence. A single moment of positive thinking is not what creates change. Instead, it is the consistent return to a chosen inner state, even when external reality hasn't yet changed. This persistence gradually weakens old patterns of doubt and strengthens a new mental and emotional baseline. Gratitude also plays a major role in this framework. It is not just about reacting to good events, but about feeling a sense of completion in advance. This state of gratitude reduces resistance, anxiety, and impatience, allowing you to experience more clarity and emotional stability. It also helps align your attention with what is working, rather than what feels missing. Overall, the idea is that your experience of life is not fixed or random. It is flexible and responsive to the state you consistently hold within yourself. When you understand this, you stop living in constant waiting and start actively shaping your inner world first, trusting that the outer world will eventually reflect it. Everything comes back to one simple but powerful truth. Your inner state is the starting point of your entire experience. Life does not begin with external events. It begins with what you consistently assume, believe, and accept within yourself. The mind may try to convince you that you need proof first, that you must wait for certainty, or that circumstances must change before you can feel different. But in reality, it works the other way around. Inner certainty always comes first, and outer experience follows. When you decide internally, when you stop living in waiting and step into knowing, you shift out of uncertainty and into alignment. From that space, you no longer chase life or try to force outcomes. Instead, you begin to embody the version of yourself who already lives in fulfillment. And life in turn reflects that embodiment back to you. This is why persistence, assumption, gratitude, and inner decision are so important. They are not techniques to manipulate reality. They are ways of stabilizing a state of being, a state that the outer world naturally mirrors over time. You are not powerless, and you are not waiting for life to happen to you. You are constantly participating in the creation of your experience through the state you can occupy. Decide inwardly, remain consistent, and trust the unfolding. Let certainty live within you before it appears around you, because once the inner decision is made and maintained, the outer world has no choice but to follow. In that understanding, you stop living in delay and start living in alignment. If this message resonated with you, make sure to like the video, subscribe to Neville's Voice, and hit the bell icon so you never miss a shift in perspective. And if you're truly aligned with this message, comment aligned below so I know you're part of this journey.